Hello and welcome to the YCharts March Monthly Market Wrap. My name is Joe Clevin with the YCharts team, and I'm here to take you through all the happenings that went on in the markets during the month of March. Let's get started. We see last year's laggards have now become this year's winners. Big story here is that the bottom 10 performers in the S&P 500 in 2020 have now turned themselves around and become the market leaders. In fact, shares of Occidental Petroleum, Marathon Oil, Diamondback Energy, and American Airlines Group are all within the top 10 performers of the entire S&P 500, leading the markets higher through Q1 of 2021. And another big story through Q1 is how value is now outperforming growth. If you remember from 2020, the big story there was growth significantly outperforming value over the course of the year. But now the tables have turned through Q1 of 2021, and this has been especially true in March. Quarter to date, value has returned nearly 11%, while growth has remained about flat. And the 30-day average daily volume has significantly pulled higher for value versus that of growth. This is an interesting insight that might be brought up by clients to get a further in-depth view of this performance of value over growth. And to do that, there's nothing better than insight communication. So we're going to go ahead and hop over to the YCharts tool to show you how you can build this particular communication visually to give to your clients. We use the IWD and IWF ETFs. Those are the iShares Russell 1000 value and growth respectively. And in our financial metrics, we use price and 30-day average daily volume like we did in the visual you just saw. Now it's looking a little funky here, everything in one chart. So in order to get that like we saw in the visual, we're going to go ahead and click Normalized, which puts everything in percentage change format from start to finish of the time period. And we're going to lay this out as panel per financial metric, giving you an insight that you can share with your clients to depict value over growth. Now back to the market wrap. March was a bit of a mixed bag for major indices. The S&P 500 did return 4.4%, and developed markets ex-US and Canada returned 2.4% on the month. NASDAQ and Bloomberg Barclays US corporate high yield bond were about flat on the month. And finally, emerging markets and the Bloomberg Barclays global aggregate bonds were down 1.5% and 1.9% respectively. However, in March, all 11 sectors pushed higher. Utilities led the charge with a 10.5% gain. Industrials at 9%, followed by consumer staples in a close third at 8.5%. Technology was the relative laggard in March, returning 1.8%, but still finishing in the black nonetheless. And our 10 hot stocks of the month, the big story here is consumer sentiment charged higher per the U.S. Consumer Sentiment Index in March, sending shares of consumer cyclical companies Lennar Corp, AutoZone Inc., Westrock Company, and Gap Inc. all higher. Our laggards and losers consist of communication and oil slumping. Big story in the bottom 10 performers is the Archegos liquidation really took hold of Viacom CBS and Discovery, with shares of Twitter also selling on the back of that. And oil slumped as well, with Baker Hughes, Oppacorp, and NOV Inc. all rounding out the bottom 10 for March. Finally, to wrap up the March market wrap, the big story from economic data is new single-family houses sold plummeted month over month, down 18.3% from its February reading. And this is another interesting communication that we can give to clients, especially for some who might be looking to purchase a new home or sell their existing one as part of their financial plans. So hopping back into the YCharts tool, we have here once again the three metrics: U.S. new single-family houses sold month over month, existing home month supply, and house price index month over month. We'll keep this in original unchanged format per the metrics, but we'll go ahead and separate these in panel per security since we have three distinct securities. And you'll notice that there was an average line over this 3-year period. So we can go ahead into the settings gear next to single family houses sold, tick that average line, click apply. And in order to get a little bit of color distinction, we can go back into that annotate settings gear and set this one as gold and this one as blue to mimic what we saw there in the chart. And that is how you can download an image and show this to clients or anyone that is wondering what's going on with economic data. And that puts a wrap on March's monthly market wrap. We at YCharts want to thank you for watching this video breakdown of the goings on in the market during the month of March. And for more great content like this, please subscribe to the great channels that we have. Please hit that subscribe button for our YouTube page. Do follow other market wraps and subscribe to our YCharts blog, where we keep you up to date on current events happening in the markets. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you back here next month for the April market wrap with YCharts.